All right, fog has already started to form along our coast as we look towards Coronado, looking very spooky this afternoon. Now, I expected the fog to come in, and it's pretty early to be rolling in already. It is very patchy, though. So you can see the fog off in the distance there, and then there's a really cool shot from POEs at the Coronado Ferry Landing looking towards downtown. This little fog bank is kind of rolling in along the bay. That fog is going to become more widespread. Pretty much all coastal areas will deal with fog overnight, I should say tonight through tomorrow morning, and it could impact not only your evening commute, but really your morning commute tomorrow. Inland neighborhoods are also going to be dealing with that fog. I'll show that in just a second, but it is very warm right now. We are in the 70s and 80s everywhere in the county with 90s in our deserts, and most inland neighborhoods were in the 90s this afternoon. So you're hour by hour along our coastline. From here on out, that possibility of fog is going to be with us. So if you're not seeing it right now, like you can see over La Jolla right now with UCSD, it's still clear. That fog is going to be rolling inland, and it is going to be very widespread by tomorrow morning. I do expect to see a dense fog advisory issued from the National Weather Service. For the inland neighborhoods, we're in the 80s until about 5 o'clock or so, and then we'll start to see 70s developing, but to waking up tomorrow morning, mostly in the 50s, so another cool start to the morning. All right, let's talk about that fog. So that fog is going to lead to widespread visibility issues on most of our major freeways, along the 5 from Oceanside all the way down to the border, out towards Chula Vista, National City, even along the 8 towards the El Cajon and Santee areas, up through Kearny Mesa, Tierra Santa, Mission Valley, the Golden Triangle, La Jolla. Pretty much every major freeway is likely going to be impacted, at least with areas of fog that could be dense. So keep that in mind. Maybe set your alarm clock a little bit early tomorrow morning so you can get to work without having to rush. Temperatures are going to be in the low to mid 70s along our coastline, right on par for average. Inland neighborhoods, we're back in the low to mid 80s tomorrow, which is still about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal. Ramona, one of the warmer spots at 85, 70s in the mountains, and 90s in our desert communities, and it is Halloween. So we have this high pressure system that's moving just slightly away from us, and that onshore flow is getting strengthened for now. This system is going to be diving south, and as it does, the winds are going to turn briefly offshore again this weekend. It's going to bump our temperatures up slightly and bring clear skies to the county. Your 7 p.m. trick-or-treat forecast for tomorrow. I've dropped our temperatures a little bit for the inland neighborhoods because it does look like tomorrow's going to be a little bit cooler, but we're looking at 60s for most of the county. Not too bad, and right around 80 degrees at 7 p.m. in the deserts. We could see some low clouds and some fog rolling in by then for some of our coastal communities, so keep that in mind also for your trick-or-treating. Temperatures will be staying in the 70s through the extended along our coastline. Morning fog an issue straight through the weekend. For the inland neighborhoods, temperatures will be in the mid-80s through the weekend, through Monday, in fact, and then we're cooling off greater into next week. By Thursday, we're in the 70s, which is more typical for early November. For the mountains, temperatures will not really change much through the weekend. It's going to be sunny and warm in the mid-70s, low to mid-70s, I'll say, and then 60s back in the forecast by midweek next week, while the deserts will remain in the 90s for a few more days, but 80s in store next week.